looking for something that's ironic, something that's funny, something that's completely raw and real, but like having a good idea of what I want to get out of that. So premeditated chaos, I guess you would call it. That's what I'm going for today. Here's one. Look.
Video.
Vietnam. I've been told many times that Vietnam is more nice than Thailand.
Really?
Yeah, but the food looks good, that's for sure.
Yeah, I want to join. You want to join?
I know, thank you so much, thank you. Nice to meet you. Take care. Got a little lunch invite there. Because I think with street photography, it's all about having balls to go out and do it, which is different to like having technical ability. Been in the game for whatever, 30 odd years. Like I know roughly what I'm doing by now. As a photographer, you know, people say, someone said it to me this morning, oh, what sort of photography are you? Well, I don't even know how to answer that. I just photograph what's in front of me, and you know, I'm not a landscape photographer, I'm not a portrait photographer, I do all of those things, but I can't really give an answer as to what kind of photographer I am. But what I know I'm not is a street photographer, because I've never gone out and into the street and taken a photograph of someone.
Change is good. Anyone who told you otherwise is telling you lies. Sorry bro, I had to just chuck something else in there. Change is a good thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone is a good thing. If nothing changes, then nothing changes. A year ago, I started doing film photography to challenge myself. And if you were to take a look at benmarlow.com, you'll see a massive library of film photography that simply wouldn't exist had I have not challenged myself. A week ago, I woke up in the morning and decided I wanted to try street photography. I already had a client lunch booked in London, so I packed the Leica Q2 in and set off.
A technical kind of hurdle isn't really what this is about. This is a lot more about putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. All the time we sit down with athletes or CEOs or whatever it is, and we sit down and we've got time to get the shot, we've got time to prep everything. With this, it's about going to someone you do not know, someone who hasn't given you permission to take their photograph. It's about capturing a moment that is so raw and authentic that it's, you know, it's not about technical ability. For me, this is about, right, what can I do that's just completely different to anything I've ever done in my career thus far?
I shot everything at 1/250th of a second so I could freeze the action. But when I got the pictures back to the edit and onto the big screen, there was a fair bit of camera shake. I hadn't accounted for the fact that I would also be moving and taking the pictures at the same time. Some of these shots still look great with the shake, but I knew I could do better. So I set out the following day for Camden, where I knew there would be an abundance of subjects to photograph. Before I left, I turned the shutter speed to 1/500th of a second, and off I went.
After what took longer than I was hoping, I've made it to Camden, and I'm going to jump out here for 1 hour and go and see what I can get. Man, this place is rife with stuff going on. I've literally just parked the car, got out of the car, walked underneath the tram bridges, or the underground bridges. Can't be underground if it's bridges. There's a guy like playing a flute. I've already got loads of what I think are good photos, but I'm doing my best not to kind of check them as I go. Want that to be left as a surprise when I get back to the edit, and just see if any of these are actually in focus. It's only by doing something that you're not so familiar with that you find new skills. You have to be brave for a start. You can learn things that you thought you might never have otherwise learned. You know, I never thought about being a street photographer ever. A street photographer to me was one of the people that is a meter away from your face, annoying people, getting in their face and getting a photo and then sort of skulking off into the darkness. And I never thought that I could take enjoyment from taking that kind of photograph until I did it. But this one photograph that I took of this guy standing in front of a tube train, looking like a cross between bloody Ronnie Coleman and the guy out of The Matrix, looking like a badass, just standing there. It was like, that was a feeling that I never foresaw happening before taking this first street photograph. And then the next day I was like, right, where am I going now to take street photography? Because it was such a rush to get the photograph. And then obviously, as I say, like these photographs are just the rawest form of street life.
And if they look at you, it's even better. Yeah, so this shot of the girl scrubbing the bin there, she just looks directly at the camera, but she never said anything, so she obviously doesn't care. There's a guy, I think his name's Gary Winogrand, who like would go up to a group of people and be kind of fumbling around like he doesn't know how to use his camera properly, and like at the same time taking these shots that ended up being like world-renowned shots in street photography. Anyway, I'll just go and get in someone's face like that.
What do I like about street photography? Nothing is staged. You are reacting to what's happening around you. And most importantly, nobody is posing. And in the current world that we live in, that is incredibly refreshing. I'm really pleased that I use street photography to push myself out of my comfort zone and make the uncomfortable feel more comfortable. I know it's really going to stand me in good stead as we push Ben&Jack Studio forward. So if you're thinking about trying something new, just flip and do it.